Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Telling Tales. Here we tell atmospheric stories through the medium of tabletop role-playing games. It is Monday night, and we are playing Masks of Nyarlathotep with 7th edition Call of Cthulhu. I will do a mini catch-up in a moment, but first, promo of things. Below the stream are links to our other streaming sites, our social media, our Discord, which you can join and come and chat with us and other people who are involved in and enjoy things that happen on the channel, and our Patreon, where you can support us if you are one of those people who enjoy what we do on the channel. There are many hours, days, weeks, months, years of previous content on our YouTube, which is below the stream if you are watching on Twitch, or is where you are if you are watching on YouTube. Including the 5-year anniversary video of the channel, which includes a number of conversations and clips that have been lovingly edited together for your enjoyment. The game is afoot, I guess, because it's about to begin now. The group have been to Peru and met Jackson Elias, and have become friends with him and have dealt with some strange things there, including fat-sucking vampires. Then they have been to New York at the behest of Jackson Elias to come and discuss an expedition, the Carlisle expedition, that was missing, presumed / told dead, but he thinks may not have been completely destroyed, only to show up and find Jackson recently and brutally murdered in a cult killing. And they are now back in England, basically following his steps backwards from his most recent point. They have accidentally stumbled probably on some more cult activity. I wouldn't like to give it away. And nothing can be given away as a definite until it happens, right? And is confirmed. So I'm keeping that quiet. But it's probably a cult. And they are about to follow a lead to go to Derby in Derbyshire to look at a business that has links to Edward Gavigan, who is the person in charge of the Penhew Foundation, who were very involved with the Carlisle expedition. If you are confused, imagine being a player or me. Right, let's start bringing people onto screen. Let's get Steve, who plays Edwin Price. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Jonny.
You were leftmost at the bottom of my screen, and therefore my favourite.
Thank you.
How is Edwin feeling about everything?
Edwin is not feeling great because he really feels that basically we've told everybody who we are and that we're investigating evil cults, but the people we've told have generally been in the evil cults, or at least that's Edwin's view. I think it's fair to say that even Miss Shafiq has confirmed that she was at least previously in the evil cult. So yes, we're just stumbling around and telling everybody who we are and being watched all the time, and not really turning up any meaningful evidence that hasn't been hand-fed to us by somebody who might or might not be evil. So confusing and a bit distraught, in summary. And now the weather.
what a wonderful position to be in. Let's bring on John, who plays Merritt Barton. Hey, John.
Hi, Jonny.
How is Merritt? Is he excited to go to Derby?
Yes, I think as excited as people usually are to go to Derby.
Is there a standard? Can we measure it?
Viewer, tell us how excited the average person is to go to Derby. Round up.
Or alternatively, tell us how excited you'd be to leave Derby if you're already there. Yeah, Merritt is a little bit at sea. I think all of us are. We seem to be currently going down a route of social deception to try and infiltrate the Penhew Foundation, which is not Merritt's forte, but he trusts in the quick wits and smooth charms of his colleagues. So he's just going to follow everyone around until we find something to translate, preferably in Latin.
I only have base charm, just by the by.
This might not go well then.
Great. Let's bring on Sam, who plays Mrs. Farwell. Hey, Sam.
Yep. Hello. Don't worry, guys. I've got 5% up for my base charm. We're fine.
Feeling good about Derby?
Yeah, I think going to Derby, the how much you look forward to going to Derby is somewhere between how much you look forward to going to Slough and how much you look forward to going to Brighton. Like, I feel like Derby's somewhere in the middle of that. So, you know, it's better than Slough, worse than Brighton. It's kind of where I'm at. That track. Yeah, I think Winifred is. I think she's felt a bit. I don't know, at odds, a bit off kilter about the whole investigation. Somewhat reassured when we got a chance to talk to Miss Shafiq, but also we were a bit floundering at that point. And we've got this lead with the painter, which I think's really she's quite eager to follow up with him. Was it, I think, Miles Shipley was his name? Yeah. And going to Derby still feels useful, but it's sort of unclear whether this is a total red herring. We're going to find anything at all there, or whether this is actually a good idea. And I think she's a bit nerve-wracked by the prospect of leaving London to go and do that as a group, even though there was nothing explicitly happening. So yeah, a bit unnerved, but also curious.
Cool. Thank you. And now Justin, who plays Mr. Farwell. Hey, Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thank you. How is Mr. Farwell?
Yeah, you know, getting on. Travelling to Derby, I would relate it somewhere between the excitement of visiting Brighton and Slough. More exciting than Brighton, but less exciting than Slough.
Controversial perspective.
It depends what you're looking for, I guess. Cool. Good intro. And now Jack, who plays Ted Hobbs.
I'm going to defend Derbyshire. Not Derby itself. The city's a fucking dive. But
Okay. Yeah, is there anyone else we can defend during this thing from England?
Hang on, let me get the book. But the county's nice. It's got it's the Peak District, you know, and you've got the seaside town of Matlock Bath that isn't near the seaside, but is very much a seaside town if you've ever been. Yeah. So actually, and where is it we're going in Derby? It's not actually the city.
It's Derby.
It is.
Is it actually? Oh yeah, sorry. It's the village is where the werewolf or whatever it is.
We're not going to go to Edale because
which isn't even in Derbyshire, I think.
It is, but
right on the edge of Derbyshire.
It's near Sheffield.
It's right.
Yeah. It's like the furthest bit of Derbyshire.
We're going to Derby to sneak around a manufacturing plant to make sure it is a manufacturing plant and not just a cultist hideout with manufacturing plant written on the side. And then we're maybe going to go poke around Lesser Edale to see if there are any werewolves.
If we refer to the Ted and Wilfred playbook, poking around manufacturers is very close to one of our standard plays,
and it always goes well for us.
Who's getting shot this time?
We've got to drill these things, like you only get better through practice.
I actively think Mrs. Farwell has brought up on the train that no one's getting shot this time.
There's fewer guns here. Fewer.
Not
what
none.
are the odds of getting shot twice?
Let's not have any runs in with the police or any underhanded, dangerous people. Thank you.
I don't know. I think post World War One, there might be actually quite a few guns floating around in England. Considering, I don't know, is it customary for people to keep their service pistols after they leave?
Look,
I don't know at this point.
fewer guns.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so it is the morning of the 15th of February. And I believe you were planning on catching the train.
Yes.
Cool. So you have a couple of options. You can get there about midday with one change, or you can get there about 2 p.m. a faster train, and a direct train, which obviously leaves later.
I think we could do a change.
Are we having to roll for trains being late so we miss it, Johnny?
Look, it's not.
No.
Things were better back then. At the risk of sounding like a right-wing politician.
Oh no, there's a snowstorm. We're trapped in a village.
In Scotland?
That's a cheap trope and not something that anybody on this channel would do.
What is the
Not more than
train
once.
changing in Edinburgh?
Okay, so you arrive in Derby. You had the address, I'm pretty sure, of Henson Manufacturing.
I think I would be very civilized and suggest we stop at the cafe first, perhaps nearby, to have a think. If it's possible to have a kind of walk past the place and then stop at the cafe, you know, so we have a think after we've glanced at it. That would be my preference.
That seems sensible.
You know, assess if it's like we can just walk in, there is a big wall, it's all closed up and locked up, that sort of thing. There's guards everywhere, you know, what are we looking at?
Okay, so Merritt had a little bit of information about the building itself. So you already know that there is a wall around the perimeter of the there's like a courtyard with 3 buildings in it, which is surrounded by a wall. But yeah, you find a cafe nearby. Are you sort of sitting in for a drink there and having a little while to
get some lunch, I was thinking, and yeah, after having seen the place, have a chat about our approach.
How near is this cafe to the manufacturing place? Is it like? I'm kind of interested in looking. You know, whilst we're there, I'll be looking around to see who the other clientele are. You know, do they look like anybody might work there? Are they giving us the evil eye? You know, any weird bundles of? No, I won't go for weird bundles of twigs hung up above the doorway just yet. That would be presumptuous.
So this cafe is basically, as you might expect, this is in a kind of industrial area where the Henson Manufacturing is. And this cafe seems to service a number of places here, basically. So it's very much a kind of, you know, Greasy Spoon style, or whatever the equivalent would be in 1925. But yeah, that kind of vibe, with a number of variously sort of dirty and besotted clientele there, drinking cups of tea and eating whatever sort of sausage or whatever there may be available. So there's nothing to point out who works where per se that you could tell, at least that you could tell at the moment. There are, you know, some people wearing very similar things to each other, but you wouldn't very quickly be able to tell who works in which of these surrounding factories. If you want to do a little further investigation, then please let me know what you would like to do, and we can do that. But a quick glance as you're sitting there, there's nothing to discern who works where.
I won't be doing anything else just yet. Just sort of, taking in the atmosphere, that sort of thing.
On the assumption, Jonny, that we have seen the place at some level on the passing, is it like front gate open? Is it active, or does it look fairly abandoned? Are there people going in and out? Are there any guards, or could you just walk in with an open gate, or is the gate closed? What is it? What's the vibe we're getting?
So there's some smoke coming out of a chimney. So there's certainly something going on in there.
Mhm.
You wouldn't describe it as bustling by any means. Some of the other places are clearly like warehouses and such, and you can see numerous people kind of moving around and moving bits of stock around and that kind of thing. At a quick look, there's nothing like that in this one. I don't think you've got like exactly you don't have what they manufacture. So you're not sure whether it is the kind of place that just has very few people working there, specialist stuff. Or if everyone is out to lunch, maybe. So yeah, there's a 10-foot high wall surrounding the whole thing. There is what you would probably describe as a main gate, which is for vehicles. And then there is a smaller like footpath gate as well.
And they're both closed when we walk by.
Let me just double check something. So they're certainly both closed.
We don't know if that looked. I think that might probably need a closer look, to be fair. So
yeah, so they're large. A pair of large wrought iron gates is the sort of main gate.
Last thought I had, did we see any like signs outside that said Henson Manufacturing, and then anything else like goods and services? We do.
There is a sign saying Henson Manufacturing above the main gate. There's nothing to imply what might be or might not be going on in there.
Okay.
You can see as well through the gate if you kind of like at the first opportunity, if you're kind of looking through the gate and passing, you would be able to see certainly the two bigger buildings that are within the courtyard. I know that John is aware that there is at least one other building, at least on the original plan. You would know, I think you rolled really well on this, didn't you? So you would know from memory that the shed that is also listed on the original building schematics would be behind the workshop from how you would see it through the gate. So you can only see these two big buildings, but that doesn't mean that there aren't more behind that building.
Did you say we could see the building, or we could vaguely see the entranceway from the cafe, Jonny? Are we that close?
Give me a look roll, a group look roll, which is Justin, I think.
Oh, couldn't have just been a me luck roll.
No, of course not. I am the
problem being
decider.
part of a group. My luck's never used.
46, and I need to roll underneath 26. So not great, but not not terrible.
You can see a little. So let's say that you are past the gate. You can see one of the buildings, a little bit of one of the buildings through the gate from where you are sitting in the cafe.
Okay, we can see the gate. Importantly, what I was wondering was if a vehicle arrives at delivery, are we going to notice it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to keep an eye out for. I'm vaguely like,
cool.
While we're having lunch for an hour, do any vehicles come in and out? Was one of the things I'm just watching for.
Cool.
or anyone, I suppose, but particularly vehicles.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything while you are here?
Can we listen into the conversation? What's going on? Sorry,
yeah.
yeah. See if there's any.
Give me a
buzz
listen
around.
roll.
Oh, nothing. Can't hear. I can't hear it. I can't
Presumably,
hear shit.
this is in the canteen.
That's what I was
Canteen, the
assuming.
cafe.
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I was
yeah.
thinking.
No, I totally failed that as well. Great. Lovely. 92. That's not good.
Oof. You can't hear me.
I was going to ask, is there like a second story to this cafe? Not as in a B plot, as in a second floor.
I think it was just like another tale to be told.
Yeah, give me a subplot, Johnny. This main plot's boring. Come on. No, is there like a second?
Yes.
Does it seem like it is publicly accessible, or is it like a living area?
You think it's either a living area or storage.
Okay.
So you can't see a way to get up there from here.
Is there a convenient abandoned shop next door?
No, this is a standalone building. Yeah, you either it's through the kitchen that you would go upstairs, or there may be an entrance around the back or something to put some stairs.
Okay. In that case, I will also eavesdrop.
Okay.
The conversations around me.
We're looking for beat a 92.
I did beat a 92, but I did not beat my listen score with 75.
Okay. There are a lot of people in here having a lot of conversations. It's difficult for you all to pick out individual threads that are going on. Yeah, after you've been there a little while, it thins out quite significantly. You know, first like one person leaves, and then all of a sudden there's sort of 15 people have gone.
And are many people going through the gate to Henson?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not many. You spot seven.
Okay.
They are all in flat caps, brown or leather aprons, and collarless shirts. So they are all wearing reasonably similar stuff.
I suppose I will address to Mr. Farwell. How many people would generally work at a manufacturing plant that large? Do you know?
Well, it depends. We don't know what they're making, do we? So, can I make an operate heavy machinery roll, Johnny, to try and work it out?
No, because you haven't
Fuck.
seen the machinery. You almost had me. You didn't.
Can I make a praise roll? I've got a 5% chance. It really depends.
Phrase either. What would it be?
Can I make a luck roll to guess the right number?
I mean, you could just guess a number.
This size? Like he's spanning the arms.
8, 14.
18. Size. No, I couldn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Have we seen any vehicles go in or out while we've been watching, Johnny? While I've been watching. Okay.
Nope.
So it strikes me that this isn't going to be the easiest place to get into, presumably. Oh, actually, it's worth asking the question. If I was watching the gate fairly closely, did it look like they just opened it, or did they have some sort of key to open it when they were going in and out for the pedestrian entrance?
They seem to walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't seem to unlock.
Is there anything on top of the wall? You know, like, I don't know, barbed wire or broken glass or spikes or anything?
No.
Can we ask someone else, like a worker at one of the tables, about the factory? I could ask. My default would be to ask what places are hiring, and to see if, are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring? What about that factory right there? What do they do? And are they hiring? That's kind of the vibe that I would be going for. And I'm happy to make a charm roll to do this, or a other role of any other kind.
Okay, and you going for somebody who's still in here from one of the other places? Yeah.
To try,
Okay.
not to bother you, but I know.
Yeah, give me a charm roll.
Just curious. I work in machinery.
I work in operate heavy machinery.
My charms failed me this time. I have a charm of 48, but I rolled a 75, which is not double, but is not good. I'll put it that way.
You get a yeah, sorry mate. Don't think anybody's
apart from my lunch, do you mind just
they're all
what a shame.
All fully stocked, I think.
Well, I can go back to my thing, go, well, God knows if I know.
Well, it seems like at least the gate isn't locked during the daytime. So if we simply acquired similar clothing and confidently walked in, at least a few of us, that might not raise too much suspicion. No vehicles, which I was thinking might be preferred if we could get a vehicle and drive in as pretending to be a delivery. That might have been the simplest option, but no one's come or gone yet.
I'm hoping the cafe's not dead quiet now, because otherwise this conversation is...
I'm saying this like, this is when Justin's literally got the guy right up to the table like, oh, are you hiring? Hopefully checked around, we're not.
Also, the guy's pouring coffee into your cup as you're having this conversation.
At the end of the workday, people will leave, presumably, whatever day workdays end at 1920.
But I
9 p.m.
Starting at
I
10
assume
p.m.
I assume they're going to lock up overnight, though. So
sure, but we could at least see whether there are lots of people who come out of there or not.
How tall was the wall again, Jonny?
10 foot.
We could also walk around the perimeter and see if there's a compromised part of the wall or something. Or somewhere to climb over it.
even if there's just a place where we could set up some ladders in the night, probably wouldn't be impossible.
I presume our intention is to stay in Derby, or we're not just here for the day trip. We're going to be staying
I think we
somewhere.
plan to be back within the week or something, or 4 or 5 days or something.
I didn't have a note of the date we planned, but yeah, it was something like a little under a week for me and Miles Shipley.
Sam, make me
Oh,
your choice of an occult or
Oh,
knowledge roll. Would that be a
you mean knowledge is in like intelligence idea or
no, education? Not is knowledge.
education?
Yeah.
Education. Well, that's vastly better than my occult, so I will do that one. Unless they're going to give different results. Are they going to give different results? Occult seems.
No.
Oh, okay,
No.
okay. Sorry, I shouldn't be able to ask the GM this, should I? But
Remember me as a kind and benevolent GM.
Oh, well, I rolled a 98. What is up with our rolls today? Oh, gosh.
Okay.
We should just go back to London. It's just not working out for us here. This is
I had such a good chance at you as well. Jeez.
Okay, fine.
Oh.
How much of a deadline did we have in regards to the next whichever phase of the moon we were looking out for?
23rd,
yeah.
I think.
So
Right.
What's the date
days.
today?
8 days.
And we plan to meet Miles Shipley a few days before that, I think. So basically,
if we're in Derby
what,
a couple of days,
5 days before
tonight.
5 days before we need to head back. Although that depends if we want to investigate in Edale as well. Exactly. I think I agree with Mr. Barton. Walking the perimeter sounds like a good start. That's certainly if it doesn't seem too suspicious to do so.
I'm wondering if walking the perimeter and then perhaps checking the local library to see if Henson Manufacturing has been mentioned in the newspapers at any point.
Good idea. Or if they've been recruiting or anything like that even. Jonny, part of the town, are we sort of still in the middle of an industrial area here? Or are we sort of towards the edge of town? I'm trying to imagine, is the back wall going to be like against terraced houses, going to be, you know, by a park?
There's not really any housing here. You've got either roads or alleyways between other industrial buildings, basically. So yeah, I mean, you haven't gone round the back of the thing currently.
Yeah,
so
vaguely though, we're in industrial.
Yeah, you don't think that you're going to come across, you know, nosy neighbors twitching the blinds at you if you try and.
Okay, but equally, it's not like we're on the edge of the town and there's like woodland behind it or something.
No.
Well, shall we have a walk around first then and see what we see?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, there are buildings to either side of the wall. So I'll do you a screenshot share in a moment. But there's basically, you're across the road from the from Henson. Utoxeter Road runs between the cafe and Henson Manufacturing. So as you are looking at the front gate, to the left there is a building, and to the right there is a building, if that makes sense, to the outside of the wall. So there are sort of alleyways running between those old buildings and the walls to Henson. And as you go around the back, there is an area of sort of not wasteland, but sort of like disused, sort of rubbly ground before the next building a little distance away. So yeah, there is a little bit of space there. I will just share. So the thing marked 15 is the main gate, the sort of big double gate. 16 is the smaller gate, sort of foot gate. And then, yeah, sort of where it has 10-foot brick wall on there, that area behind is that sort of disused barren ground. And the cafe is sort of where the 0 is on the scale in Imperial Yards at the bottom.
when we're walking around the disused area behind, is there much evidence of like, anything going on here? For example, I'm trying to think like if we were here in the night, is it going to be quiet and dark, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be much activity going on?
From at present, you don't think that where you are there would be anything happening, unless it were used for anything by people in an evening. But like, you couldn't necessarily say about within the walls of Henson Manufacturing what would be happening or not happening on an evening, in terms of if anybody at all would be there. But yeah, you don't get the impression, there's not any sort of tents pitched up here, or and there's nobody else wandering here or anything like that. So
I think I will probably, like, while we're walking around the map wall somewhere, just make the comment, well, if we did want to set up some ladders to leave temporarily and overnight, well, while we're inside for an hour or so, don't think anyone's going to come across them in the nighttime here. While we're walking the back wall, Johnny, it's just sheer 10-foot brick wall the whole way, solid. There's no windows, no gaps, no back doors.
Nope.
Okay.
No, if you do a full loop, the only bits that aren't wall are the gates at the front.
Does it look old? Is it sort of, does the wall look like it was built sometime after 1921, or is it sort of pre-existing? Sorry, that's a very specific question to just lob at you.
You think it looks older than 1921?
Okay.
Do the bricks match the rest of the building?
What, the bricks of the wall?
The bricks of the wall, yeah.
It's a good question.
I guess we're trying to get to the same answer. Was it built? The wall built after?
After Gathergan bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only wondering how much of the buildings you can see from outside the wall.
That makes sense. You can't really tell from the inside. Yeah.
What if we jump?
How many points you got in jump?
You need at least 70 points in jump, I think. So.
I think you need about 350 points in jump.
If you went and looked through the gate, you would have an easier time assessing. But if you're attempting to stay away and not look like you're spying on this building, then it's harder for you to easily make an assessment on that. They don't look like one isn't red brick and one's like sandstone or something. Like,
I don't think it's worth peeking up at the gate at the minute. Like, okay, we found out the wall was built after the building or with different bricks. We've still got to get over it. Like, ultimately, it doesn't matter for that.
I suppose once we've done a full loop, we're back at the road, I'll turn to the group and just say, is there anything else we want to do while we're here? Or shall we follow up with Mr. Barton's idea of going to the library now?
I don't think of anything else that we need to do right now. I think maybe getting some, if we can find some more local information on this place through newspapers or the library, I think that would be a sensible option.
Depending on how stealthy we want to be, we could. The opportunity probably would have been while we were at the cafe, and Mr. Farwell did try, but asking around, see if anyone has anything to say about it. But maybe it would be too obvious to start asking questions yet.
It feels a bit worrisome to me, given there is obviously it's not the sort of place that has a reception. It's not the sort of place that has a sign to say, we're manufacturing this, please come in. The gates are closed, if not locked. They're not really inviting questions, so I feel like we would stand out.
We could try and find the pub that the workers tend to go to. Presumably they're going to go to the pub after work. But again, if we start asking questions, do we start, raising suspicions? And if we do want to find our way into there without them knowing, at the minute they've got no reason to suspect someone sniffing around.
So, not that I have the most experience of these sorts of things, but as far as I understand it, out-of-towners suddenly arriving in a local workman's pub probably stands out more than anything else would.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's an option, but I mean, best case is one of them does say, "Oh, we do have a job going, and we're in, and someone's having to work for the day and probably can't get away to actually, snoop too much."
Either way, we'd be coming back for it. So, library first, I suppose.
Yeah.
Did anyone see the library on the way through town?
We can ask at the cafe, can't we? Or have we actually secured accommodation?
True. Find somewhere to stay. That might be important.
There's probably a hotel near the train station, like at the very least.
Yeah,
And then
I
they'll
think
ask.
I'll head back to the train station maybe, and then if we don't see the library before we get there, find a hotel and then book in and then ask there. That sounds like a plan.
Okay. On the way to the train station, you pass 2 hotels. Sam, can you make me an idea roll?
I can try.
Actually, no, make me an occult roll.
Well, I rolled a 26. I rolled it exactly the moment you said it. My occult is 25, so I am spending 1 luck.
Okay.
You'll get a tick when I've spent luck, right?
Yeah. So you pass.
Okay.
We've been doing it, so we'll carry on doing it. It's fine. I'm really stingy with the luck, aren't I?
Well,
so
I
I
didn't
think
want
it
to
all
say
balances
anything.
out. I think it
Fair
all
enough.
balances out.
With leveling up, we get so rarely anyway, yeah.
Okay, so you pass a place called the Georgian House Hotel, which looks very nice. And you kind of log it in your mind for that's a potential one. Looks pretty old, maybe 200 years oldish, maybe not quite 200 years old, 150. And then you pass the Old Bell Hotel. And you're kind of walking along back to the hotel thinking, sounds sort of vaguely familiar. And then you remember that it is notoriously one of the most haunted buildings in the locality.
John, you were saying you wanted a side quest.
So I'll leave it up to Winifred whether that is a good or a bad thing. And you can suggest whichever of those 2 hotels to your friends that you would like to suggest.
Winifred will suggest that the quaint Old Bell Hotel looks far more appealing to her. And
it's a 17th century coaching inn.
Exactly. Yeah. Without really waiting for anyone to disagree or suggest anything else, we'll move towards the front reception.
Do you say anything about, oh, by the way, it's the most haunted?
That's all I said.
Right.
Of course. Well, I see no reason to disagree.
I mean, telling us it's haunted feels like it would skew the integrity of the experiment.
Well, of course. Oh, it's an experiment now, right?
I think Merritt's pretty used to Mrs. Farwell being the one to handle the money, so I follow along behind. I do not argue with.
I think to be fair to the group, the only person who might go like that's a bit odd would be Wilfred. I feel like Wilfred might vaguely twig that Winifred's chosen the clearly cheaper, less posh hotel without obvious cause. I don't know if you'd say anything about that.
I mean, I'm on board with a chance to be frugal.
Mm-hmm. But you
might be moving house soon anyway, so you've got to save some money.
Okay, so a lovely smiley woman greets you and says, hello, a room or dinner?
Yes, 4 rooms. Is Corporal Shane with us? Is this 5 rooms or 4 rooms? 4 rooms and dinner for all of us. Thank you.
Oh, very good. And she takes out this massive sort of ledger book and flips it open to where the cloth bookmark is, and says, "Right, all of your names, please." And presumably you give your names, and she notes them all down.
Oh, no, not
Our real
again.
names.
Yeah, it's up to you. Actually, you don't have to give your
I
real
give
names if you don't
real
want
name.
Does anyone give a
Um,
fake name?
I'm more inclined to do it than usual, but you know, we've passed that post now already.
We kind of all have to give fake names or real names. It'd be useless for one of us to give a fake name. Would just be
Especially if it was Wilfred. When I give him a real name.
Let's give. I'll give my real name if Mrs. File's given her real name.
Yes.
Is that is that that's actually what Edwin says when she goes, "And your name?" Is there any indication at all about they're not like selling the haunted thing at all, Johnny? It's just totally not. Okay. Well, Winifred's very pleased.
Yeah, she's dressed in almost like a funeral dress. It's like a dark, sort of frilly sort of outfit. And she picks 4 keys from the hooks behind her, and directs you up this small, thin flight of stairs that are behind the sort of reception counter. There's another door from here that you assume leads through to the bar, restaurant-y kind of area. But yeah, she takes you up these stairs that probably are the best part of 300 years old, or the staircase width certainly is the best part of 300 years old. And it kind of turns around a corner up there, and she it's all like dark paneled wood, and she you come up into this hallway, and she directs you each to a room, and they all have 4-poster beds, and sort of reasonably nice rugs on the floor, nice bedside cabinet, and wardrobe in each also.
Are the rooms named, or are they just numbered?
No, just numbered. They're all 30. No, they're not.
I might excuse myself to just go and tidy myself up, and then actually go and have a quick chat with this lady, just myself, once everyone's in the rooms.
Oh, she checks how many nights you want to stay. I don't know if you say that you are, you maybe give 2 and say that you may stay more or something like that.
That's quite right.
Which she's very amenable to.
Or we might leave in a hurry. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I will find a moment to talk to her without the others, and just say like, I feel like I've heard of the name of this place before. Are you well known for being a place of mystery and odd occurrences?
She are you being, how open are you being with your sort of facial expressions, and like basically she will gauge whether she thinks you would think this is a good thing or a bad thing. Is essentially
I'm visibly kind of obviously a bit excited, a bit interested in this,
Okay. She says, yes, the the old bell is quite well known for the spiritual. Is that something of interest to you, Mrs. Farwell?
Yes, it is very much. I have practiced as a medium on and off, and dabbled in other arts of the mind and spirit. So certainly, when I was walking by, I don't know why, but I must have read about this place somewhere or other back in the day. And well, while we were here, I thought I'd take the opportunity to come and stay.
let's do a fun thing. Can everybody, one of the Farwells and everybody else, roll a d10 and tell me what number you get to see which room you are in?
Justin.
Cool. Me and John are sharing a room.
Okay. John, roll again.
What?
Why do I have to roll again?
We get
7
7.
and 2
We
are
get
gone.
7.
I got 0, so I guess that's 10.
10.
I got 4.
Okay.
Well, 10 is the most haunted, surely.
I think 7
she-
probably the most haunted given that reaction.
She says, well, there are a couple of things specifically that you could look out for. One of them, unfortunately, is mostly based in a room that none of your party are staying in. But you may find that if you join us for drinks and a meal later, perhaps somebody will attempt to serve you who then seems to disappear into nowhere. She says with a little smile.
Fascinating. Are there particular individuals of the past who have become intertwined with this place that are known of, or is it much less clear than that?
Well, as I say, that seems to be a previous serving girl. And the the story of the one upstairs is a bit macabre, I'm afraid, but
well, perhaps we should be glad we're not staying in that room. Which room is it?
She kind of looks around quite conspiratorially at you and says, number 6. It is free.
It's what I was about to ask.
Do it.
Oh, this is interesting.
I'm just imagining you being like, would you move Mr. Price in there, please?
I think
Don't do
she's not going to balk at the opportunity. Yeah, she's. Oh, did we have an excuse to be moved to room 6? I wonder. Perhaps even just for one night, if it is a bit difficult.
Yes, no problem for me. Do you need to convince your husband? Or will he not think twice about moving room? An upgrade! We'll call it an upgrade.
Exactly. I'm sure there can be some sort of upgrade that's going on here. I'll go tell him.
She passes you the key. Just bring the other key back when you are done, Mrs. Farwell.
I will. Yeah.
And no promises.
I smile back at it. I love the side quest, by the way. I will go and join Wilfred in the room and say, "Oh, Wilfred, good news. We've been given a room upgrade to room 6."
Cool.
Apparently, it's nicer than this one.
Yeah. I remember the hotel in Scarborough. Remember that upgrade?
I love the idea that I've done this before.
You move into the next room and it's like the exact same.
Don't say a thing about
That's how it always starts.
Important question for my visualization. If Mrs. Farwell's done this before, did Mr. Farwell unpack, or did he wait to see if his wife would come back with an upgrade?
I was 100% unpacked. I think, like, I think I'd like started putting clothes into. My clothes were all in drawers already.
I think with the prospect that this has happened a bit before, you've probably noticed that I'm also clearly a little bit excited about something now, and probably might.
Yeah, no, sure. And part of the fun is making sure that I'm entirely unpacked, so it's very clear how much of an inconvenience this is for me when you make me move the room.
True. You know that carnation you gave me yesterday? This is the real Valentine's Day gift.
Sure.
Yeah, I will be doing more like examining of this room once we settle in room 6. Oh, I'll give the key back and then I'll.
Yep.
be examining the room more than I would with a typical room.
Okay. Do you like? Not that you would have any like ghost hunting technology, but do you have anything that you do with, if you think there may be a presence?
I think I would probably. I mean, this is something I do periodically myself anyway, so it doesn't particularly need to do. But I think I would probably sit and have a quiet moment, and just not really in any like order, just kind of take cards from the tarot deck and shuffle a bit and take cards again and kind of see what energy I was getting from the place in my own way, I suppose. I think that's probably all I would do.
Would we say that's an occult roll again?
Sure. 53. No.
Okay. But it's what is your occult stat?
25.
Okay. Yeah, you get a read of loss and a sort of separation. So we'll call it, let's say it's getting on for 3 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. By the time you've got there, got across town, cafe, little look around back here. What's your plan for the rest of the day?
Probably finding the central library and looking through newspaper clippings for any mention of Henderson Manufacturing.
I assume at some point we would have asked while we were at the hotel as well where the library is. So.
Yep, it's not too far away. So you... Oh, in fact, actually, you can... Rather than the library... In fact, make me an easy charm roll.
My charm is not that good. So it's double.
Yeah.
Is that how easy works? Yeah, I make it. Nice.
Nice. No tick for an easy.
Yeah, I was just remembering that. I went to tick it and then didn't.
So you speak to the woman on the reception desk again, who I will come up with a name for. And she says, you have a bit of a conversation with her again. And she says, "Oh, what is it? Books you need? We've plenty of books here. Got a nice collection of fiction and things to do with the more ghostly happenings."
Well, actually, we were thinking of investigating a few things, local news and other such as well. I think some of the archives at the library might be needed. But what sort of books? And I will either inquire or maybe have a quick glance at the bookshelf before we leave.
Yeah, you have a look, and there's sort of like Grimm's fairy tales style stuff. A couple of bits on not as sensationalist as it would be now, but almost like real life ghost stories, kind of books, as well as purposefully fictional ghost stories. But yeah, nothing that's nothing that jumps anything in your mind as
the terrors in room 6.
Yeah. So did you say that you'd said to her that you were looking for newspapery stuff? Sorry.
I said, yeah. I kind of said, yeah, local news and also like archives and history of the local area. Keep it a bit vague, but yeah, I suppose that's...
Yeah, she says, to be honest, it's probably a better bet if you went to the either the council offices or the Derby Daily Telegraph or the Derbyshire Adventurer. the local papers themselves have probably got better records of anything that they've printed than the library would. And for information on the area, to be honest, the council offices could be better than the library as well.
Thank you for the advice.
But the library, she points to you where the library is in case you do want to go there, but basically suggests that these other places might be a better use of your time.
Yeah. Well, maybe once I'll thank her, and then maybe once we're out the door, I'll mention it to the group. Well, our host suggested we might have better luck at the local papers or the council offices. Perhaps we divide and conquer.
Seems a fair bet to me.
Well,
I'm happy to try with the council officers.
Perhaps I will join you, Mr. Barton.
shall we follow you to the papers then, Mr. Hobbs?
Yeah, I was going to say it makes sense for me to head to the newspapers.
You're on mute, Justin.
Yeah, I'd like to look at the papers.
I think Miss Farwell is
Okay.
by admin now.
Do you want to just all make library use rolls? These places will basically give you access to stuff without too much hassle. And details of exactly what you're looking for, they won't preclude you from anything that is overly relevant, but if there's anything specific that you're looking for, then let me know.
I failed, but how is Mr. Price looking?
I also failed. I rolled an 89.
I will push.
Okay.
That is much better. That is a hard success.
Nice. And that was at the council, you guys, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be asking for any information, any public information about Henson Manufacturing.
Okay. And at the papers, how did we get on there?
I did not pass.
I did not pass.
Didn't pass. So I guess I will push, since that's what we're doing now. Well, that really isn't too bad. That is a fail. So we are going to make fools of ourselves at the papers.
Don't you know?
Okay.
I am?
At the council offices, Edwin and Merritt spend some time and are struggling to come up with anything. And then you basically find misfiled a section on Henson Manufacturing. So I don't think that you had the name of the previous owner. So Arthur Henson is the previous owner. And he comically in this you find basically like a newspaper article that's been added to the file, which is sort of like new investment in Derby by London Egyptologist, and basically
London
says
cult
that,
leader.
basically says that Arthur Henson is retiring to Cornwall. Yeah, that's about as much as you can get from there. Go on, John. You look like you.
No, I was trying to think if there was any follow-up questions, but there are none.
No, the information on Arthur Henson wasn't specific enough to, like, mention, say, a Cornwall village, or it's just Cornwall. Okay.
Yeah. Nobody in Derby in the 1920s would know the name of a Cornwall village. Probably. Okay, in the newspaper offices. So you find nothing when looking through the Derby Daily Telegraph. Did I say? Yeah, and then you go to the Derbyshire Advertiser, which is a little bit of a more there's more in the way of local adverts in there and less in the way of editorial than in the
So for just if it helps you decide on the push, what I was really trying to get was if Henderson have been hiring, and that was the information that I was going to push for to try and find out from this to see if we get any information about stuff they're hiring or advertising for it anyway.
Okay, you get to the point where basically the last person is wanting to leave the office, and you're still kind of like, you know, and they come over and say, I you know, I'm very sorry, as I've already said, I do need to get back for dinner with my wife and children.
Mrs. Farwell is visibly frustrated, but we'll get up.
Thank you. And he, like, I'm assuming that, yeah, he kind of like collects up all of the stuff that's on the table that you've been looking at, and he's huffing under his breath. And yeah, you're not sure you'd be welcome back tomorrow if you were going to try and come and look again.
We're being so successful today. This is
Yeah, I was just going to say, our dice, honestly, terrible dice today.
Yeah,
5 failed library, no, 6 out of 7 failed
Mhm.
library use rolls. That's quite,
Yeah.
it's quite.
I don't
we'll
think
be
we're breaking in anywhere this session. I think we
No,
definitely
let's
make
not
sure
break it. Let's wait for another session. I agree.
how the dice are going next session.
Oh, but surely we must have got rid of all the bad rolls now.
Yeah, I guess we meet back up at the hotel, probably, for dinner.
Yeah, if it's around that time, yeah.
I mean, I definitely would have wanted to see if anyone was, exiting the factory around the end of the workday. So I might have dipped out
yeah.
earlier to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you were wanting to see if there was like a local pub they went to, right?
Well,
Your
just
idea?
again, if the end of the workday comes and no one leaves the factory, that's suspicious. If
Yes.
the end of the workday comes and 2 people leave the factory, that's suspicious.
They
If-
only go in, none come out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like these are the things. So I probably would try and leave to get there in good time to catch the end of the workday and all that stuff.
Okay. You don't know what time the workday finishes, so what time are you going to go for?
Can I make it like an educated guess? Of like,
Yeah,
what
give
life is
me
like.
give me a knowledge roll, unless you have an alternative. But I think that's...
I would pass that. Just as regular
Okay,
pass.
nice. You imagine that they would start early and not finish overly late. So you think assuming that they might finish at 5 would be reasonably safe. You probably wouldn't want to go any later than that if you want to catch them leaving.
Yeah, then I'd probably try and leave around 4:30 or something. And yeah.
Okay. So let's say you get there for 4:45. You at pretty much bang on 5 p.m. you see almost literally a changing of the guard. So you see the 7 people come out that you saw go in at lunchtime. And you also see another man leave, who is tall, reasonably well built. He's got sort of messy hair, and yeah, you imagine he's some kind of manager or foreman potentially, from his sort of, the way that he interacts with the other people that are leaving. And you then also see somebody coming in who looks like they may be some kind of guard or night watchman style person. And then, yeah, that man kind of leaves as well, following behind the others. And the guy who has gone in, the night watchman looking fellow, locks the gate.
I would like. Is there anything that indicates what they are doing? Like, are they covered in dust or bits of string, or like, is there anything that have they got clay on their faces? Is there anything at all that indicates what these workers do?
Compared to a lot of the people that were in the cafe, they're relatively clean. They have they are not leaving in the stuff that they were wearing earlier. They're leaving in their own clothes. But when you saw them earlier, when you kind of, you trace back, once you've realized who they are, you can then remember kind of what they looked like in the cafe a little bit. And they would have, like flecks of sort of metally stuff on them, little bits of paint. But it was more that kind of machiney style stuff rather than like brickwork or other types of thing. So yeah, you still couldn't make any kind of educated guess as to exactly what they're doing. But yeah, it's more on it looks more like machinery usage, perhaps manufacturing, rather than anything else. And yeah, once the guy's gone into the grounds and locked the gate, he kind of wanders off into the grounds, and you lose sight of him around the grounds then.
Cool. I think that's probably enough info to be getting on with. Where does this tall, messy-haired, well-built man head off to?
He wanders off behind the sort of main group of workers. Are you kind of attempting to tail them in some way?
Yeah, a little bit. Why not? I mean, I'm mostly just kind of interested to see if any of them live nearby. Does one of them just disappear into a house over the road? That kind of thing. I'm not necessarily going long distances, but I'm happy to make a stealth roll to do that. Which I won't pass.
Yeah,
but, just let you know in advance. Even if I do roll well, I'm unlikely to. Let's give it a go. That is a no. 45 over 20.
But you're staying plenty back, right? You're not.
Yeah. It's more just like, I'm kind of just wandering in that general direction, kind of not necessarily, I'm not tailing for any real distance, really. I'm all just kind of just seeing if.
Yeah, so everybody's walking back towards the town centre. The direction that you have come from, essentially. And you see a couple peel off once you start getting to residential streets, and they seem to be, each kind of heading off and heading to homes nearest to the town centre. Probably each within a 10-minute walk of Henson Manufacturing. The other guy has not yet turned off anywhere. He's kind of still walking in a forwards direction once everyone
Well, then
else has
yeah.
peeled off.
I'll peel off myself at this point. I don't need to follow him a long distance.
Okay. Cool.
And then I'll probably, I don't know, dip into a pub or something nearby. Just there's a good excuse for me to have dropped off.
Yeah. And then are you sort of meeting
Yeah, I
back
mean,
up with everyone?
I'll have a pint, and then at some point wander back to the pub, wander back to the hotel, the other pub. No, yeah, I'll meet people back at the hotel. I think later. It sounds like everyone else was going to be at the library for a while, so I don't think I'm in any rush. Or not the library, no, the
Yeah.
the records place.
Jonny's just reading about ghosts.
So yeah, you all meet up back at the hotel. The hotelier directs you through to the dining area. And you
Is there
kind of
anyone
put your
else-
orders in for food. And sorry, go on, Sam.
Is there anyone else eating? Because this is when we can kind of assess if anyone else is staying here. Is there anyone else eating here, or is it just us?
Yeah, there is a couple who look to be maybe late 60s, early 70s, dressed up into their sort of evening dinner wear, looking very sharp. And then there's a guy sitting on his own as well, reading a newspaper.
Sounds good.
They're not necessarily guests. You could be eating here just for dinner, but
Yeah, I guess first of all, we'll offer that we had no luck at the papers finding out about whether there have been any adverts for staff at Ensign Manufacturing or anything. They were rather impolite, I think is Winifred's perspective. I don't think Mr. Hobbs will have the same perspective as that, but
Yeah, we didn't really find much, did we? We did maybe outstay our welcome.
they kicked us out. I think I was just about to find what we needed.
Might it be worth Mr. Price and I trying to go tomorrow? As long as we don't mention our companions.
It's possible I was just getting... Well, there might not be anything to find.
Well, all we managed to find was the name of the previous owner, Arthur Henson, and his intention to retire to Cornwall.
We're not going to stop off there next, are we?
Anything particularly suspicious about retiring to Cornwall? Did that timing match up with when the company was sold?
Yes, that's what the article was mentioning, talking about London investment and revitalizing Derby.
Again, nothing suspicious. Nothing suggests that this is definitely somewhere we should mistrust.
Unless, of course, he was coerced, but obviously we can't easily... that is simply a... well, flight of fancy, I think.
I'll lean in and say relatively quietly, just making sure no one else can overhear. Is this really something we want to be doing? I mean, we've still got no indication that there's anything suspicious about this place. It's only that it's owned by a man we have some reason to mistrust that we are looking at it. Choosing to gain access is a bit of big deal without much of any evidence.
I think perhaps I'm just not particularly capitalistically minded, but it does seem like an odd investment choice for an Egyptologist, doesn't it? To just
Well,
buy a manufacturing plant in another city. It doesn't. It was a very vague article, but it doesn't sound like it was him doing his friend a favor.
I actually have some archaeology. Johnny, could I roll to see if I think that you would have any need for manufactured items or machinery or anything in an archaeological excavation?
Sure.
I succeed. I get to take archaeology. That was worth it. That wasn't actually my intention, but
I mean, like everything requires some form of manufacturing,
Mhm.
but does
You need your own plant. Yeah.
does an expedition, is it cost effective for an expedition to create all of its own stuff rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
buy it? Almost
Especially
certainly not.
creating it in England, where presumably it would be cheaper to make it in
And then
Egypt.
ship it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, even if it was really specialist. Okay. I think
It could be nice personalized trowels or something, you know.
all manufactured in Derby for some reason. Yeah, I think Miss Farwell will say, you're right. It doesn't really add up as far as my understanding goes of these sorts of expeditions and the needs of them. They might have need cause for some machinery or tools and equipment, but they would probably just gather it out there on site or in the country. There wouldn't be anything so specialist you would need to manufacture it here. Certainly, you would need to own a whole plant for, as far as I could think of.
No, I just feel like if the motivation were pure investment, then there would be more financially viable and closer to home opportunities for that.
Well,
Right.
as far as we're aware, this is his only investment outside of London, isn't it?
Well, I don't think we've checked. I don't know. Maybe there's a way of checking somebody's business, collected business interest. Perhaps that would be Company's House as well. I don't know. But we haven't done that yet, I don't believe. I think we've just... Oh, visitor.
The the door did look like it was open.
The door moved by itself.
Yeah.
So yes, I don't think we've investigated Gavigan. We should. We absolutely should, but we've not done it yet. Jonny, the article about Arthur Henson retiring, was there any suggestion that he'd been looking for buyers for the place for a while? Was it out of the blue, or was it kind of on the cards for a while? Because like if he's approaching 65 or whatever, then I can understand.
Yeah, in what was looked up and found, you didn't see any notice of intention to sell or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. No evidence either way.
No, like I said in the article, it was portrayed as a good thing theoretically, but yeah.
I've just seen your comment in chat, Jonny. Very good.
Oh, someone's got to read it out for people listening.
Thank you. Maybe he wants to just make pens in any color he wants, create his own pen hue.
I know we usually leave comments for the end, but that was one that I think wouldn't make sense in isolation.
Oh,
you're welcome, and I'm sorry.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. Portrayed as positive in that one article. And no other particular mention before or after, really, from what was found.
And so far, we have no indication whatsoever of what his what the business was prior to it being bought. Correct. So we have nothing to go off as to what it might be doing yet.
Yeah, I mean, there was no mention of company name change, so it was manufacturing of some type. But yeah, you've not found anything at present to say what it was before.
Well, other than the fact that it's an unusual investment opportunity for an Egyptologist, there's still nothing we're going off. Then it's possible he just has other business interests entirely unrelated to archaeological.
He's got to fund the expeditions somehow. But we have come all this way.
Yes. I just don't like the argument we have come all this way, so we should break in.
Well,
You were so very keen on ladders earlier on, Miss.
Yeah, ladders don't involve breaking at all.
Yes. I don't think that's the point Mr. Price
Something
is
distracted you for some reason.
Yeah, the service is happening right now. Miss Farwar's like looking around at who's serving,
keeping an eye on everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we could either escalate the issue overnight, where there is only a watchman, or we could pursue our other course of investigation while we're here.
Yes, you're right. I suppose this isn't the only route of investigation. I suppose it leaves us in the same quandary, though, if we go to Edale and find that it's nothing to do with here. Was this always a dead end for us? Was there no point in coming to Derby itself?
You have to wonder why Miss Shafiq gave you this information.
I suppose there's
Presumably
a
she had.
She wanted us out of London for some reason.
There is that.
But you're
Perhaps
right as well, Mr. Price. God, sorry.
I was just about to say slightly waspishly, perhaps she's ransacking your house right now.
I suppose that's possible. Let's hope not. I would at
It
least
would be
expect it to be a
turnabout,
bit more
Mr.
subtle.
Farwell.
I would at least expect her to be a bit more subtle and dignified about it if she were an underhanded sort.
I suppose we could also position ourselves in the cafe at the same time tomorrow and start conversations with the people we know work at Henson's.
It's true.
We could say that we're performing a survey. We're looking to move here, move a manufacturing instance here, and try to just get an idea of the workforce available and the sort of things manufactured here. Bit of a long shot, but it might be a route to gain a little more information.
I suppose that doesn't sound totally implausible, yes.
Am I to take it that there will be no unplanned nighttime activities this evening?
Winifred's looking shifty.
Can
This can be taken in so many directions.
Everyone make a spot hidden roll, please.
Oh, yeah.
My dice rolls have been so bad today.
Wow, 94.
85.
Hey, it's a pass.
Lucky Ted.
I failed.
Everyone
Lucky
failed
everything.
except jeez.
Was that
My
two
point is
rolls in the
87.
90s?
Yeah,
Goodness me.
doing real bad, guys.
Jack.
We should not break in.
Ted sees somebody with like a a member of the serving staff with 2 glasses walk past and then not continue to appear on the other side.
I don't know whether Ted pays much notice to that. Like, he doesn't know it's haunted. He's not on the keeping an eye out for it. Maybe sort of do a little glance to see, you know. But if no one picks up on it, then
Look under the table. But Ted's a rational one, isn't he?
Ted's
Anyway,
the
in terms of
skeptic, yeah. So
yeah.
they must have just fallen down a serving hatch or something.
They're just immediately
Okay,
bent
fine.
down under a table.
They're standing directly behind Ted.
Where are they?
Adorable.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I think by the time the meal is ending, Mrs. Farwell looks actively slightly disappointed.
The food here is very good as well, it's worth noting. So you all sort of end the day feeling quite satisfied in that sense.
I'll give a slightly pointed, sleep well, everyone, as we go settle in bed. I did get another idea as well. I think John posted about this. Because Mrs. Farwell has this funny thing where she's simultaneously very aware of trickery and generally skeptical of many things to do with like mysticism and the occult, but also genuinely believes in otherworldly forces at the same time. So she will also, just out of curiosity, especially since she saw nothing at the evening meal, have a check around the room to see if there's any like interesting trick things, like, you know, a little smoke maker that is in the cupboard or something like that, or, you know, there's a little scented thing, or, you know, a sparker that has a little, or like a, you know, something hidden behind a portrait or something, you know.
Okay, make me a spot hidden roll.
Yeah, I didn't fail. That's extreme success, in fact.
Okay, you are kind of, yeah, you make your way around the room quite methodically. You kind of get down on all fours and look under the wardrobe, and then you kind of, while still on your knees, open the wardrobe door and kind of padding around the bottom of the wardrobe and up the sides, checking for any false panels.
Don't mind me, Wilfred.
Yeah. You're kind of happy with the wardrobe. You close the doors and you kind of turn around, still on the floor, and you see a pair of women's feet, like up to the sort of shins, I suppose it would be, on the other side of the bed.
I will immediately jump up to see if I see anyone there.
Give me a look roll.
Yeah, well, that's fairly good. That's a pass, a success.
Okay. You see a woman dressed in like she clearly works there. It's kind of you know, a maid's like pinafore. I say worked there. She ignores you essentially, and you can see her going through these motions of essentially changing the bedding. And then she just is gone.
Yeah, I think I will stand there stunned, staring at where she was for a few moments, and then like sit back on the bed and go, gosh, that might be the first time I've seen something I really believe.
I think I'd like a sanity roll, please, Sam.
Cool.
Worth every moment of it. That is the most good success I've ever had on a sanity. It's
Okay.
a 3.
Yeah, no sanity loss. No sanity loss.
Excellent. Worth it.
Disappointing.
I love the idea that Wilfred is also on the bed like, this whole time.
I kind of feel like Wilp is like shaving in the mirror this whole time,
Yeah.
like not paying, like just not even paying attention.
I know I had a sanity roll. Given that I passed the sanity roll, am I okay to be like actually kind of happy about it, Johnny, or do you think it was still an unsettling experience?
I think that's like if you are a kind of supernaturalist interested in the occult, I think it's fine for you to be like, oh, as far as I'm concerned, some relatively tangible proof that this thing that I have thought is real is real.
Yep. Okay, I am. Yeah, I'm like shaking but excited at the same time, and I think I will maybe just open my open like a little notepad I have and just sketch what she looked like and just scribble notes of what the experience was for me so that I can recall it frantically in this notepad. I won't be sleeping tonight. Far too excited, and by the prospect of having another experience like that, I'm staying awake.
Is there anything else that anybody wants to do this evening at all?
What time are we at? This is after dinner, I guess.
Yeah, 8:30, maybe 9.
No, probably just reading some more of the cursed book. It might not be cursed.
I'm going to stay up a bit studying my ancient Egyptian book.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I think that's probably a good spot to leave it. We're smidge early, but it is nighttime now.
We do need to reset all of our horrible rolls before we do anything exciting next session, so that's probably a sensible idea.
Cool. Thanks, gang. Promo stuff. Firstly, thank you for watching. Any questions or comments, please put them in the chat and we can discuss them before the end of the stream. There are links to everything below the stream, our other streaming platforms, social media, Discord, and Patreon. On our YouTube, there are numerous videos, including our 5-year anniversary video, which a lot of hard work has gone into. So please go and watch that. Enjoy the choice excerpts from 5 years of streams and conversations about those things. And I think we are on next week, as far as I'm aware, at the moment. So yes, I think that's everything. Anything in the chat, John?
I liked this one to bear in mind.
Denominator, it's always the fish people's fault.
It's true.
Yeah, we haven't yet seen any fish people, as far as you know.
And you know why we haven't seen any fish people? It's their fault.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yes, I like this one from Steve.
I have been particularly amused if only Ted had seen ghosts in the inn and just written them all off. It was a possibility. When Ted was the first one to see them, I was like, this could be it. That could be everything.
I presume everyone in Derbyshire floats along the ground, like 10 inches off the ground. Like,
the local custom.
Yeah.
Who am I to question that?
High concentration of helium in Derbyshire.
Yep.
Stay there long enough, you'll float too.
That sound like this.
Makes for very unpleasant role playing.
It's 3. I'd watch that.
What, It 3 set in Derby with
with yes,
in the middle of a
helium
helium
ground.
leak.
Yes. Can we get film funding?
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed that. That was a fun little side quest there, Johnny. Well, side quest, side event. Oh, I'm curious if it's going to have any relevance to anything else, or it's just a little ghost place thing. Suppose we'll find out.
I've also decided that the hotelier's name is Ms. Graves.
Perfect.
Whether that's her real name or not, you may never know.
But that's the name on her name badge.
That's what she's introduced herself to you as, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. I think that's everything. So yeah, we should be back next week. Go watch the 5-year anniversary video on YouTube.
Yeah, it's great. Go watch it.
And,
also, for next session, please pray for better dice rolls for us, folks. We need all the help we can get.
Narratively, I need them to get better dice rolls as well, so it'll help everyone.
Viewers want us to roll a bit better. It's entertaining.
There's only so much I can do.
You have found no clues.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks, gang. We will catch you next week. Bye-bye.